Good morning, dear children. Today I am here with the second part of the chapter Quality, written by John Galsworthy. In the previous part, we read about Mr. Gessler's hard work and his dedication to his work. So now let's forward and know more about him. They get it all, he said. They get it by advertisement, not by work. They get it away from us who love our birds. It comes this presently I have no work. Every year it gets less, you will see. And looking at his lined face, I saw things I had never noticed before. Bitter things and bitter struggle. What a lot of grey hairs that seemed suddenly in his red beard. So, you know that Mr. Gessler was talking to the author about the difficulties of his business. Though he was quite satisfied with his work because he made perfect quality of shoes, but at the same time he was quite dissatisfied with the tough competition in the market. Because of this competition, it was difficult to him to survive with his loyalty to his business. The big firms were using low quality of material and selling their products on high rates only on the basis of advertisements. They were trying to attract customers on the basis of advertisements only, while Mr. Gessler did not want to compromise with the quality of his product. So he was losing on his business. He was getting very less customers. When he was describing this to the author, there were lines of worries upon his forehead. Now the author realized the difficulties in his business, and he was also noticing some grey hairs in Mr. Gessler's beard as he was looking older than his actual age. As best I could, I explained the circumstances of those ill-omened boots, but his face and voice made so deep an impression that during the next few minutes I ordered many beers. They lasted longer than ever, and I was not able to go to him for nearly 2 years. Now the author tried his best to explain the situation, that he visited that large shop because he had an urgency of buying shoes that time. But the expression on Mr. Gessler's face was so sad that the author gave order to prepare many pairs of shoes at the same time. And after this order, he did not get opportunity to visit his shop nearly for 2 years, as the quality of the shoes was too good and they were durable. It was many months before my next visit to his shop. This time it appeared to be his elder brother, handling a piece of leather. "Well, Mr. Gessler," I said, "how are you?" He came close and peered at me. "I am very well," he said slowly, "but my elder brother is dead." And I saw that it was indeed himself, but how is it and when? And never before had I heard him mention his brother. Much shocked, I murmured, "Oh, I am sorry." When means old. Now, after several months, the author visited the shop again, but this time he mistook Mr. Gessler for his elder brother, as he was looking older than before. So he asked about his well-being, and he replied that he was fine, but his elder brother was no more. Now the author realized his mistake, and he felt sorry for this. "Yes," he answered, "he was a good man. He made a good boot, but he is dead," and touched the top of his head where the hair had suddenly gone as thin as it had been on that of his poor brother, to indicate, I suppose, the cause of his death. "No, do you want any boots?" And he held up the leather in his hand. "It's a beautiful piece." So Mr. Gessler said, when the author was feeling sorry, that his brother was a perfect shoemaker and a good human being too, but now he was dead. Then he touched his head where the hair had become thin because of worry, and same happened with his brother. So he also died, struggling to survive his business in the tough competition. Then suddenly Mr. Gessler changed the topic and inquired the author if he came there to give order for shoes, and he also showed a fine leather piece to him by saying that it was a fine material to prepare the boots. Now I ordered several pairs. It was very long before they came, but they were better than ever. One simply could not wear them out, and soon after I went abroad. The author was deeply moved with the tragedy of Mr. Gessler's life. So this time he again ordered many shoes, and this time the order took much time to be completed. The reason was that Mr. Gessler was preparing it alone, as his brother was died. But when he got the shoes, no doubt, they were perfect than ever. Nobody could tear them out so easily. Then the author had to go to abroad for some urgent work. It was over a year before I was again in London, and the first shop I went to was my old friend's. I had left a man of 60, I came back to one of 75, pinched and worn, who genuinely this time did not at first know me. Do you want any boots? He said. I can make them quickly. It's a slack time. Slack time means lazy time. I answered, please, please, I want boots all around, every kind. After a year, when the author returned from abroad, he went to his favorite boot shop again, but this time he felt a big change in the appearance of Mr. Gessler. From his face it appeared as though he had covered a journey of decades. 1 year before he looked like a man of 60, but now he was looking like a man of 75, and his face was wrinkled and became dull. Moreover, Mr. Gessler's memory had gone weak, so this time he failed to recognize his old customer. He asked the customer, like a strange person, if he wanted any shoes, and he also assured him that the order will be delivered shortly, as there was no rush in his shop now. Though the author was surprised with his appearance, but he ordered many pair of shoes again as usual. I had given those boots up when one evening they came. So the author was thinking that the boots will never come, but they were delivered one evening. One by one I tried them on. In shape and fit, in finish and quality of leather, they were the best he had ever made. I flew downstairs, wrote a check, and posted it at once with my own hand. So when the author tried these shoes, they were all perfectly fit, with a proper finishing of fine leather upon it. The boots every time were better than the previous one, so these were also the best. So the author was very happy. He came downstairs and posted a check by himself. A week later, passing the little street, I thought I would go in and tell him how splendidly the new boots fitted. Splendidly, marvelously, amazingly, or wonderfully, you can say. But when I came to where his shop had been, his name was gone. I went in very much disturbed. In the shop there was a young man with an English face. So now, after a week, when the author was going across the same street, he wanted to thank Mr. Gessler for such a splendid work. So he went to his shop, but surprised to see that his name was not there on the shop. The nameplate was missing from the shop. The author was disturbed when he found an Englishman was there in the shop. Mr. Gessler in? I said. No, sir, he said. No, but we can attend to anything with pleasure. We have taken up the shop over. Yes, yes, I said. But Mr. Gessler? Oh, he answered, dead. So now the author, because he was feeling much disturbed, so he inquired the Englishman about Mr. Gessler. The man informed him that Mr. Gessler was not there, but he could also attend him. But the author was curious to know about Mr. Gessler only. Then he was informed that Mr. Gessler had passed away and they had taken up the shop. Dead? But I only received those boots from him last Wednesday week. Ah, he said, poor old man stabbed himself. Slow starvation, the doctor called it. You see, he went to work in such a way. Would keep the shop on, wouldn't have a soul touch his boots except himself. When he got an order, it took him such a time. People won't wait. He lost everybody. And there he would sit, going on and on. I will say that for him, not a man in London made a better boot. But look at the competition he never advertised. Would have the best leather too and do it all himself. Well, there it is. What could you expect with his ideas? Now, when the author was informed that Mr. Gessler was no more in this world, he was shocked because he met him last week only. But the man further said that he was died a few days ago because of starvation, as the doctor declared. He described the causes of his unfortunate death. He described that he was always busy in his work and didn't take help of others in his work. He tried to make all his boots by himself, so his orders were delivered late. And you know that the customers couldn't wait for such time, so he lost every customer. Though he was very hardworking and made the most perfect boots in London, but in the tough competition he could not survive with the quality of his shoes only. He never made any publicity to his products and used the best material for his boots. So he suffered, as this is bitter truth that to survive with your business in the market you have to use some tricks only. Then you will be successful. But Mr. Gessler never compromised with the quality of his products. So he earned less profit and died of starvation. But starvation? That may be a bit flowery, as the saying is. But I know myself, he was sitting over his boots day and night to the very last you see. I used to watch him, never gave himself time to eat, never had a penny in the house. He all went in rent and leather. How he lived so long, I don't know. He regularly let his fire go out. Let his fire go out means his strength was going weak. He was a character, but he made good boots. Yes, I said, he made good boots. So, the author was surprised that how was he suffering from hunger or he was suffering from starvation. The man further said that Mr. Gessler worked hard for day and night continuously. He never gave himself any time to eat. He skipped his meals many times to complete his order on time. So he starved and became weak. Everything that he earned went on paying rent for the shop and on buying good quality of leather. In this way, he suffered from the lack of money in his house. So he was starved and became thin and weak and finally died, struggling with the tough competition of the market. But no one could forget that he made quality shoes. The author supported the man's idea that Mr. Gessler was a perfectionist and an artist too. So children, this is all about the story which moves around the commitments, determination, loyalty, honesty, dedication to work and loss in the business. It also deals with the tough competition in the market. It highlights the virtues of hard work, honesty, resolution, compassion and commitment. So Mr. Gessler was remembered even after his death because he had all these qualities in his character as he made quality shoes. So children, I hope the story is clear to you. We'll meet soon in the next class with new topic. Till then, do some creative work. Have a good revision of your subjects. Take care of you. Have a good day.